Right, so we're just doing the final preparation for the Dairy Days exhibition, so let's go and have a little look. Okay, here's our big introductory panel, nice big landscape of Wensleydale, showing the various features that dairying has left on that landscape and is still leaving. And then here we have the beginning of the story of milk. Milk is life, of course. And then our first case of objects, the aurochs horn and various Neolithic axes. And then here we're moving through history, early medieval period. And then we turn the corner. And of course we can't tell the story of dairying without having a look at the field barns that are so famous in the Yorkshire Dales. And then we're moving on into the 18th and 19th century, looking at the story of milking in the fields, carrying the milk, using backcans and donkeys and carts. And we've got some more objects here, some wonderful ephemera and some beautiful wood blocks by Mary Hartley. Stuff that's been donated by local farmers about dairy shorthorns and milk records and so on. It's the first of our audio units with some of our audio clips from our 30 participants. You see some of the tables ready for the launch, which is happening later on today. We're going to be doing some demonstrating here. And then we'll move on into the farmhouse dairy. The important role that women played in the dairy, and then artefacts to do first of all with butter making. Cream separators. And then a selection of butter churns. A lovely collection of butter markers that we have here at the museum. And then items to do with working butter. So that's the farmhouse dairy. Moving on to cheese making in the farmhouse, but then also the first cheese factories. Cheese press. A couple of videos that we have here of slides to do with cheese making, and then more artefacts to do with cheese making. These ones are cheese making in the home, in the farmhouse. And then we move more into the area of the factories again. Lovely churn from Mason's Dairy in Askrigg. And of course we can't tell the story without having a look at Kit Calvert's role, but also the effect of war, and then all the changes that have gone on dairy farms. And then we have a slideshow, and then a section devoted to delivering milk, cooling it. This is a milk cooler. And then getting it to the milk train, and then also those people that have done doorstep deliveries of milk in Wensleydale. Of course we can't have a display without some milk bottles, and then some wonderful cheese trophies belonging to the Bushby family, and then another audio unit. Information about the cheese and butter competitions. That's Mrs. Bushby down there on the right. And of course the other side of things, the cattle shows, keenly competed. We're just creating our little children's area down here. Got some colouring and some farm toys, which is proving a little bit difficult to put together, but we'll get there in the end. Some jigsaws. And then, of course, we've got a section about the Northern Dairy Shorthorn, which was the premier cow in Wensleydale. Some lovely quotes from people who worked with them. And then, of course, talking about the Friesians and the Holsteins that came afterwards, the black and white cows that we see nowadays. More quotes from some of our participants. And then finally, the sort of changes that dairying has gone through. Foot and mouth, price of milk. And then our final panel, just looking at some of the businesses that use the milk which is produced locally, making things like ice cream and cheese. So that's the exhibition. Just leaving, and our final panel is our acknowledgements panel. All the wonderful people that have helped us on this project, and of course our funders, the Heritage Fund and the Yorkshire Dales National Park Authority. So enjoy. It's on until the 23rd of February. Hope to see you here at the Dales Countryside Museum in Hawes.